Hello and welcome to this late morning taste change. We have from Canada two Canadian blended whiskeys. One is 80 proof and one is 80 proof, 40% alcohol versus 45% alcohol. No age statement on either. Here we have introduced in 1968 the Northern Lights, as it's now called. It used to be called the Northern Light. Light, L-I-T, no plural. Now it's the Northern Lights. And they've got a label with a Canadian maple leaf, and it when the light hits it a certain way, you get the aurora borealis on the leaf. So it's a special film or applique on the label that gives you the Northern Lights, the aurora borealis. Weird, huh? And if certain light hits it, it'll be green, like green lights. So isn't that strange? When you're a stranger. Canadian whiskey with natural flavors. Oh, Sazerac, you little snickerdoodles. Bottled by Barton Imports, Louisville, Kentucky. And Barton is owned by Sazerac, so anyway. And then it tells you on the neck, bottle neck. We love to hear from our customers, www.sazerac.com, Northern Lights at sazerac.com. So I'll let you know who owns it. It's got the classic Canadian, Sazerac Canadian whiskey, brown glass bottle with the diamonds on the neck. It's got diamonds are forever on the neck. Which is unusual. You don't see too many whiskey bottles with diamonds on the neck, but this one got it. Price. Okay, this will sound like a lie, but it's a true story. I bought this at Winn-Dixie. Okay, Winn-Dixie is a southeastern grocery chain running from, stretching from Louisiana to Florida and from like North Carolina down to Florida. Basically a Gulf Coastal grocery chain established in the 1950s with the merger of Winn and Dixie grocery stores, Winn grocery stores and Dixie grocery stores. All right. They sell the handle bottles over there anytime of the day. Walmart sells the handle bottles. Well, a lot of people around here sell the Northern Lights. And I don't know when they change it from the Northern Light to the Northern Lights. This I could not find out. Some liquor stores, online liquor stores, still have it listed as the Northern Light, but it is not. Now, if you find old bottles from the 1980s, 70s, or 60s, yeah, it'll say the Northern Light. But it was introduced by Barton Distilling Company in 1968 to expand their Canadian whiskey offerings. You can do an internet search for old advertisements, and they were old magazine ads for the Northern Lights, old magazine ads. And they would show photos of Canada, like waterfalls and the woods and all, all of that. And there's the crown and the two lions. That's the Barton. You know what? I think I'm wrong. Established 1879. I think, okay, I got it now. It was Hiram Walker of Canada that introduced it in 1968. That's right. Hiram Walker Distilling of Canada. Just like if you buy, what's the name of that blended American bourbon? Oh, 10 High. It shows a picture of, caricature, a cartoon of Hiram Walker with his foot up on a, like cutting wood or whatever, or a barrel. Yeah, that's what it is, a barrel. 10 High, the rack. 10 High on the rack. Hiram Walker. That's right. Barton bought Hiram Walker, and then Sazerac bought Barton. So yeah, that's the ticket. It was a Hiram Walker brand, who I think was actually an American who went to Canada and started a distilling company, and then it became a Canadian USA company, cross-border company like Seagram's. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I got it right. As soon as I saw that crest, I'm like, wait a minute, that's Hiram Walker. All right. Now, when I tell you this is going to sound like a lie, I bought it at Winn-Dixie and it was on closeout because they wanted to get rid of the glass bottles. Why, I do not know. $4. I saw the bright orange, alert orange tag. I said, $4.74. I said, I don't even need this because usually it's about $8. I said, but for $4.74, who could pass it up? So I bought it. And then when it rang up, it came up to $4.75. Well, I wasn't going to fuss over a penny. But anyway, $4.75 on closeout at Winn-Dixie. Man, and you thought I got a great deal on the Albertsons, right? Oh, man, craziness, 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 craziness. Now, how much would a handle bottle cost at Winn-Dixie today? Oh, I think it's about $15.99. So what's the normal price? Let's see, $15.99 divided by 1,050 times 750. Yeah. Still only like $6.85 a bottle, but I don't think you'll find a single bottle that cheap. I think on Matherns they sell this for like about $8, $8.50. Still cheap, cheap. But I got it for $4.75. Now, Crown Royal Black, introduced in 2010 by Diageo, meaning Guinness, but they call themselves Diageo for their international operations. Crown Royal Black, been on the market 11 long years, 90 proof. So they wanted to come out with a higher proof blended Canadian whiskey, aged in charred oak barrels as opposed to regular non-charred oak barrels. So that's what they emphasize on the website. I put the link below. This one's aged in charred oak for a longer time period and at a higher proof, blended at a higher proof, 90 proof. So that's why it's so dark. Look at that rich mahogany. Now, did they add caramel? I don't know. If you use a new charred oak barrels and you're aging it for like 6 or 7 years, you're not going to need to add coloring because it's going to be that dark. It's going to be that dark. Now, this bottle dribbles, so I got to be careful. I don't like the way this thing pours. Now, the Crown Royal handle for the regular Crown Royal, fine deluxe, fine deluxe. It's got the built-in pour. It never dribbles. Ebba. Like you might tell LeBron, just dribble. I'm saying don't dribble. Don't dribble. That's my orders. That's my marching orders. Don't dribble. Just shut up and don't dribble. But it doesn't listen. This whiskey is such an activist. All right, anyway. But this whiskey is a credible product, unlike but now let me crack open the new bottle. It's got dust on it in the diamonds. It's not a new bottle, but it's new for me because I never opened it before. Here we go. I already had one 750 over a few year period of time, a number of years. All right. Do I like the brown bottle? Yes, because it helps preserve the whiskey from light damage. Whiskey can get damaged from light. Not like beer as easily as beer, but it can. So it's better to keep them in a cooler spot out of the light. But this is brown, so it protects the product. There's the Northern Lights. Now, is it going to be much of a taste challenge? I don't suppose so, because 90 proof versus 80 proof and extra age versus not extra age, no age statement for either. I'm assuming the Northern Lights probably about 3 years minimum. The minimum in Canada, all whiskey has to be aged at least 3 years. In the United States, there is no requirement. So you could theoretically age a whiskey for 3 hours and call it a whiskey. I don't know who would buy it, but you could add the caramel color and make it look darker, and there you go. But the Crown Royal Black is 90 proof. It has a richer charred oak aroma. I don't really need labels on these glasses, you see, until I do that Canadian Club 12 year. This one is gold. And I'm doing another double up. Look. And this one is mahogany. Look how dark. And if I go to Arkansas to visit Shane Fudge coming up, I'm gonna have to do way more double ups because I'm not gonna have time to do whiskey taste challenges in Arkansas. And furthermore, they're not into whiskey. All them other guys, well, John and Neely is, but the rest of them they don't care anything about. So they're gonna all be dealing with beer in Arkansas. So I'm gonna try to go this spring. He wants us to go real bad, and I told John and Neely, let's do it. He said yes. So and then Jeremy Vincent's talking about it. Well, he lives in Arkansas. It would be nothing for him. And the Whiskey Scout is in Kansas, so it'd be a long drive just like for us. All right, so I got to close my eyes. I got to close my eyes forever. Well, not forever, but at least until I taste the products. I don't think it's going to be much of a challenge because why? I bet you the Northern Lights did not have this natural flavoring Sazerakian style in 1968. But now when you taste it, you know they adopted the Sazerac protocol, which means what? Like John and Neely describes it, the almond extract. Hey, I don't know what they're using. They can't actually use almond extract. They can use brandy, they can use rum, they can use any sort of wine, which could be any kind of exotic thing. So see, once you say any sort of wine, as long as it's aged in small wood, meaning a wine barrel, you got it. Because think about how many different wines you could add to a Canadian whiskey that would give it all kind of strange flavors. You can flavor it as long as it's not above 9.9%. That's a lot of percent. If you got a whiskey that's 9% flavorings, I mean, come on. It could taste like craziness. And then it'd be mad love. And then we would have bad blood. All right. It's Crown Royal flavored. This I do not know. Is it possible? Yes, because they're not even required to disclose it. Sazerac's doing a courtesy. They're saying Canadian whiskey with natural flavors. That's a courtesy designation on a label. It is not required. This smells like dark roasted, charred oak, barley. Well, mainly corn, you see. Oh, you know how sometimes you'll put popcorn in the microwave oven with that bag popcorn that they came out with in the 80s, and some of the kernels will get burnt, or as they say in New York, in Brooklyn, boint, and in New Orleans East, the Ninth Ward, boint. It kind of smells like that, like corn kernels that burned. That's very bizarre. All right. Oh, look at the sun. I gotta cleanse my nose, not cleanse my palate. I gotta cleanse my nose because I smelled the aroma was kind of heavy, so I have to exhale enough times to reset, the great reset. Okay. This smells like regular old corn, not charred oak, but like corn grits. I got a bag of corn grits, yellow corn grits. Yes, I do. Every day I do. But mainly it just smells like what people would commonly regard as the smell of whiskey. You understand? Like what the U.S. government says. It has to have the aroma and flavor commonly associated with whiskey. That's actually the rule. Now, how do you quantify that in a court case? But look it up. Blended whiskey must have the flavor and aroma commonly associated with whiskey. But then they're going to bring in that reasonable argument. So you can be in court saying, let me tell you, members of the jury, you don't know what commonly associated with whiskey means. Does it mean anything? I would endeavor to tell you it doesn't mean a thing. It's purely a marketing term. And then the judge would say, let me tell you something, counselor. Counselor, counselor, let me tell you something. Don't play these semantic games with me. Everybody knows what whiskey tastes like, and that whiskey smells like brandy or some kind of weird wine. And we throwing this case out of court. Get out of my courtroom. The tort is over. Bye. Get out. Because, enough's enough. Been my boss. So I think this does have the aroma and flavor generally associated with whiskey. Now we'll do the taste test. But my initial impression is that this is the Crown Royal Black, and that's the Northern Lights. Well, Sazerac puts out some Canadian whiskeys. They love that, but they put it out. They got so many brands. Even Canadian Leaf, which is so cheap. Oh, no. I'm thinking of Canadian Lake. Canadian Lake and Canadian Leaf got the same exact label. I mean, identical, except one says Leaf, one says Lake. But the Lake, you can only get in plastic bottles. Can't even get glass. I think that's true. I say, oh, they're so cheap. Now, what about the liter bottles? Oh, yeah, maybe that's glass. Okay. I would buy Canadian Lake if I saw it, but I mean, it would be the same old thing. It would be so redundant. I need to start wasting time with these redundancies. I'm going to write a letter to the Office of Redundancy Office, what I'm going to do. I'm going to write that letter to the Office of Redundancy Office. Oh, mama. Oh, heck yeah. Mama, put on your part. Hey, if you want to get techno, this one tasted like the almond extract. But that's got me thrown for a loop like the toucan. Oh. Well, now I'm a little nervous. I know you're getting nervous. All right, Jim Dandy to the rescue. That's the Crown Royal. That's the Crown Royal Black. You feel me? No one out pizzas the hut. That's the Crown Royal Black. And I'm not pretty sure. I'm certain. I'm pretty sure these are parachutes. No, that's Crown Royal Black. Don't play with me. Do not investigate my integrity. Because that is clearly the Crown Royal Black. And what do you base that on, Mr. Powers? Well, I'm going to tell you what I based that upon. It's got the charred oak. If I went insane and they put me away and I could just talk into a fan all day to hear my voice be cut, I'm going to tell you what. If I went mad, I would almost say that this tastes like a roasted marshmallow, but I haven't gone crazy, so I won't mention that. But if I went crazy, I would bring it up because then I wouldn't care, because I would be hearing things and seeing things. But well, man, he's gone away. He's out there in the jungle to be with his people. Feels comfortable with his people. He forgets himself with his people. He forgets himself. Well, that's really strange. That's queer because on aroma, it got me very discombobulated. But on the taste, I think I've got it. I know I've got it. Well, like they say, you can't believe everything you smell. Yeah. All right. All kidding aside, that's the Northern Lights, and that's the Crown Royal Black. Because the Northern Lights, you know what though, the Northern Lights is not heavy-handed on what John Anile describes as the almond extract flavor. It's very mildly applied. Mildly applied. So what are the predominant flavors? The main thematics of it. Mm, oh, sweet corn. You say, oh no, not like candy corn. Oh yeah, like candy corn. You said that'd make me gag. This would. It's got that nuttiness though. Also, I have to do admit that. Nuttiness like pistachios. Oh, pistachios. That's what it tastes like. I only paid $4.75 for it. All right, let's go over here. Mm-hmm. Well, I'll tell you what, they must have charred that battle. Charred that battle. Uh-oh. We'll start again. They, where do I go? Who do I turn to? No, they must have charred that barrel with the alligator char. Alligator char is the number 4 char. It's the heaviest char you can put on the barrel without making the barrel catch on fire and burn all the way to crisps. Ashes. To ashes to ash. Like David Bowie in 1980, ashes to ashes. But we all know Major Tom's a junkie. But it's heavily charred now. I'm not kidding about that. Okay, I'm gonna reveal it. Open my eyes. Yeah, that's a Crown Royal. Look how dark. Even with that little scintilla of it left. Does it taste like bourbon? There's an important question. Uh, have you ever heard of Clark and Sheffield? It sells at Benny's. Clark and Sheffield. No, but I think that's probably just a private label product that's sourced by somebody like Sazerac or Diageo or Beam Suntory or Brown Forman or Luxco, probably done for Benny's itself. And so kind of thematic with the Cubs, with the Chicago Cubs type thing. So yeah, I haven't heard of it, but they got those kind of things around here in New Orleans area, southeastern Louisiana. We got the same kind of thing. Barrel picks for certain stores. Like there's a this will sound mad. You'll say you've really gone crazy. I haven't gone crazy. Now, this is a true story. I was at Savannah Discount about a month ago. Almost took my breath away when I saw it. I said, stunning. Like I had to catch myself. It was Crown Royal barrel pick for Savannah Discount. True story. It was Savannah Discount Crown Royal barrel pick. It was a special Crown Royal produced and barrel picked by Savannah Discount for that liquor store in Marrero, Louisiana. I said, whoa. Now, did somebody from Savannah Discount get on the airplane and travel to Canada and pick it? I mean, come on. What really happened? You know what happened. Crown Royal said, how about if we go with barrel number 33A516? And they probably said, yeah, that's good. And they said, well, you picked it, barrel pick. Okay. But I was shocked that they had a special Crown Royal barrel pick for Savannah Discount. Now, would I buy it? No, because it wouldn't really be germane to these taste challenges. It wouldn't make a lot of sense because it's not like any of the viewers are going to be able to run down to Savannah Discount and get a Crown Royal barrel pick and it was only like $33 for no, I think it was $27.99. But it was something like that, But I I wouldn't buy it because it's too specific. You know what I mean? It's too specific of a product. I'm out of whiskey drinker any. Oh, I'm out of whiskey drinker anymore, but I'm a vodka drinker now, and I just tried out this vodka called Western Sun. Daniel, if you want to see something, I'll show you something that might rock your world. You want to see something in a moment? Let me know, and I'll show it to you. All right. Honestly, look, these taste challenges, we want to use that word lightly because they're not really taste challenges because Crown Royal Black is too distinct. You're not going to confuse it with these other ones. There's no way you're going to think that the Northern Lights is Crown Royal Black. All right. You're not going to think that. So it's sort of like a meaningless exercise. And if people refuse to watch, I wouldn't take it personally. You might say, well, you probably wouldn't even watch stuff like that. No, I do. Actually, I do watch stuff like that. But I understand if you didn't. But anyway, $9 versus $28. I mean, 9 times 3 is 27, okay? 9 times 3 is 27. So I could buy 3 bottles of the Northern Lights, 3 bottles for every 1 bottle of Crown Royal Black. So the question now is not, can you tell them apart? You can tell them apart without really even any whiskey training. You could be new into whiskey, like say, well, I just started drinking whiskey April 1st. Wouldn't matter. You'd get it. Just by reading the description on the website, you'd get it right. The question really is it worth 3 times the amount? I'm putting it back in this little carrying case. You know what I mean? A little fancy pants bag. I would have to say, I don't think it's worth that. I don't think it's 3 times as good. Is it better? Yeah, it's better. Stronger, better, more robust, more well-developed, aged longer, and all of that. I don't know about better ingredients. But 3 times better, that's pushing it. That's pushing it a little bit. So let me know, Daniel, if you want to see this Western Sun thing I was going to show you. You might like it. I would say that Crown Royal Black is twice as good as the Northern Lights. And I'm not disparaging the Northern Lights. I think it's a pretty nice product, especially when you get it for the outrageously low price that I bought it for, which is almost like detached from reality, but it's the truth. But 3 times as good, I can't say that. So what have we noticed about Crown Royal Black in these taste challenges? Well, except for going against other Crown Royal products where I couldn't tell them apart. But you could blame that on a lack of experience, although I think that's a shabby excuse. You can clearly tell Crown Royal Black from the other ones. You're not going to confuse it. But the second thing we notice, second pattern that's been established, is that it really is not typically able to justify the price point relative to the other product. So is Crown Royal on its own merits worth the $27.99 to $29.99? Yes. On its own merits, it's worth it. Buy it. I wouldn't pay more than $30, but I would go up to $29.99. So Crown Royal Black is a winner without any hesitation, any qualification. So it's a real winner. This company's got it made. They know what they're doing. Okay. But this is an important but. But does Crown Royal Black justify its price point relative to the other lesser lights that it's being competed against or put into competition against? I would say no, not really. It's not a disparagement to Crown Royal Black. It's really just an indication that the cheaper Canadian whiskeys, such as the Northern Lights, are so good that the value you get for the price you paid is sort of mind-boggling, really. Like you pay $8 for this Canadian whiskey. You think, oh, it's going to be just terrible, terrible. I hope I don't feel sick tomorrow. It's going to be terrible. But then when you drink it and you experience it and you deal with it, think on it, drink on it, think on it, then you say, I can't believe it. It's really good. It's a quality product. So that's the amazing thing, that it's so inexpensive, but you can't believe that what it delivers compared to the price. So you can't really understand how it could deliver so much, but yet you have to pay so little. So is inexpensive Canadian whiskey one of the best liquor values on the market today? I would have to say yes. There's no doubt about it. You're not paying a big import fee because they're not shipping it across the ocean. They're just shipping it across the border, which is just an imaginary line. So yeah, it's a great value. It's an incredible value, really. So cheers to Canada. I've visited Canada many times. I've been to half the provinces, 5 out of 10. So yeah, another winner. So Laissez les Bon Temps Relais, a winner from Canada, an even greater winner from Canada, but the only disparaging or the only discrepancy is the price comparison. That's where things break down. But otherwise, they're both great. Buy them both. No problem. You got no problem. No problem. No problem. No downside. No downside with this taste challenge.